The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
It is the day known as Roll Call Friday. What is up, Brigade? How are you? Welcome into the first football edition of Roll Call Friday. Happy September. Welcome to the show. Live on YouTube, live on Twitter, at Boston versus the Book on YouTube. Hit the subscribe, like button, and the bell so you know when we go live on the ish time at about 1:30-ish, 1:45-ish every single day. Replay on Sports Grid TV. News on that here in just 1 second. A guest coming up here right out of the chute as well. But first and foremost, happy Roll Call Friday, sir. How are you?
I am unbelievable. I almost said a bad word right at the top. I don't want to do that to Will because he's doing an unbelievable job. I don't know about you. I wake up Friday with such anticipation, such excitement, and then open up the phone after you go to the bathroom. First thing you do, go to the bathroom. Then you open up the phone and notifications. The number goes from single digits to double digits. The videos start rolling in. We got Stevie Mac on the first of the month with a big video. Of course, Raymaker Lou did his thing, shouted out everything. And sorry, Will, his video was dirty, but it was excellent. And then JC from KC, 87. The boys just start flowing. Mikey, awesome. Oh my God. It gets me fired up. And then we show up and we do this thing every single week on Roll Call Friday. And it's football season, Perrault.
Yes, it is.
Football season.
Oh, so now you're excited. So now you're excited. Okay. At least you kind of got
I mean, I acknowledge that it happens. And yes, I'm excited. But then I watched Minnesota and Nebraska last night. And I'm like,
that game was awesome at the end. That game was so fun at the end.
At the end.
The end. It was awesome.
The end.
That game was fun. More on that later. All right. A couple of announcements here at the top. First,
let's go.
Monday, we will do a show. We're here. Big football weekend.
That's right.
We thought, okay, let's do it. So if you have it off, no on Monday, 10:30 Pacific-ish, 1:30-ish normal time.
Yes.
We will do the show as usual on Monday. So you guys who are going to be wanting to talk about the games on Monday night, a couple of big ones, Clemson, Duke. We'll get to that. We'll recap the entire weekend, obviously, and then look ahead to Thursday night when the start of the NFL season happens with the Chiefs and the Lions. So heads up on that. Monday, there is going to be a show.
Yes.
Secondly, if you guys are watching this show over the weekend on Sports Grid, we are moving an hour back on Tuesday.
Yes.
So the show right now airs at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. We're sliding 1 hour back, 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. on the Sports Grid replay.
Correct.
That coincides with the launch of BVB on Sirius XM on Tuesday, the 5th.
Correct.
So 10 p.m. Pacific on XM, 10 p.m. Pacific on Sports Grid TV. So for those of you guys who are keeping track, you late night owls who are rewatching the show or listening to the show, those are the two places. New time starts on Tuesday. So the show on Monday, I don't know what they're doing Monday night. I think they might replay, but they might not. I don't know what Sports Grid's doing for Labor Day. I know that there's a holiday schedule and everything else going on for the way the shows are being put together. So I don't know if we're on. We might not be on Monday night. But Tuesday, that's when everything starts back on this current schedule. So if you have SiriusXM, channel 159, put it in your presets. That's Sports Grid's channel on SiriusXM. You will get us replayed at the same time with the same show. Nothing different is going to happen on TV and on SiriusXM. Did I miss anything?
I don't think you missed anything other than follow the show on social at Boston versus the Book. The Discord channel is what?
BVBshow.com.
People been coming back, welcoming back the football season. Those numbers keep going up. Yeah. That's our community. That's our people. I mean, we're a show for the people, by the people, but that is specifically the BVB people. I think that's it. I mean, we'll be stationed this weekend down at the Circa mostly, and we'll jump between the Westgate a little bit to sign up people over there. If those come up, no appointments yet locked in for the Westgate. We got a bunch at the Circa Saturday and Sunday, so we'll be there, and then we'll do the show Monday. We'll probably be back down there. If you guys are out and about, you know where to find us.
Yeah.
I mean, just reach out to Sports BK Consig, Sports Talk Matt on the Twitter. And I'm sure we'll be around to say hello, take pictures, watch games. There's a lot of games this weekend, Perrault.
A lot of games, and games last night, games tonight, games tomorrow, all that. But before we get to what happened last night and before what happened or was going to happen this coming weekend.
Yes.
Today would have been Bino Cook's 92nd birthday.
How about that?
92nd birthday. So
did you ever get a chance to interview him or talk to him?
I talked to him probably 3 or 4 times over the course of my broadcasting career, mostly in the South, mostly about College Game Day, mostly about what's going on with everything else. So let's do
this guy. Look at this guy.
John Lucas is the author. He is the guy. He is the man when it comes to Bino Cook. John, Matt, and Dave, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great. Hey, long-time listener, first-time appearance. I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me on this national holiday, September 1st, Bino's birthday.
Right. Outstanding to see you, sir. You look great. We'll get to the Notre Dame stuff in a minute because I know you're a Notre Dame apologist, aficionado, fan, all that other stuff. But talk a little bit about Bino and your role in his life and what he did with you and for you. And then we got to mention this book that you produced. That's just a fascinating look into the life of Bino through his words, basically.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on for 2 hours here.
We only have 10 minutes, John, so keep it tight.
We could fill up the whole show. I mean, Bino, he was just that fascinating character. And to me, I mean, he was friend, mentor, editor, co-author. We worked on the book. We started it 20-some years ago, and I finally wrapped it up about 2 years ago. Haven't They Suffered Enough? It's his life story. It's a hell of a read. I know you've been doing your best to help the sales and everything.
Yes.
But Bino meant the world to me. I wrote him a letter when I was 18. I was getting ready to graduate high school, and I said I wanted to get into sports writing and cover college football and all that stuff, and I wanted to sort of follow in his footsteps. And the guy got back to me. He wrote back to me, and we hit it off. It became more than just sort of a mentorship type thing. We became good friends, and he asked me to help him write his book, and it was one of the singular honors of my life, to be honest.
So you went back and forth with him to like College Game Day. You were his driver. Like you got all these, right? This is because like college football starting this weekend, and Bino was on the original College Game Day, was he not?
Yes, he was. 1987, the first year. I mean, September 9th. You have to ask Brando. He'll know the exact day because he was there. I mean, going on 35 years ago, a little bit over that. Bino was the kind of the major driving force behind it. The show wasn't his idea. He never took credit for it, but he was the one who kind of brought it out of, there was a commentator, I forget who it was, that said it looked like it was, filmed in somebody's garage. And that's 1987. And now look at it. I mean, they're on the road every week. They're, they've done the show from pretty much outside of every stadium, college campus you can consider. And then, it's one of ESPN's biggest properties right now. And, Bino is the big reason for that. He sort of got the ball rolling and kept that thing going. And then he was the guy who said, hey, 1993, Notre Dame, Florida State, we have to take this on the road. We have to be at the site of the game. And, you guys both know Bino. He always gets remembered for the Palace prediction. Ron Paulus is going to win 2 Heismans. That didn't happen, but he's not remembered for all the ones he got right. And Game Day was one of the ones he got right.
Yeah.
And that's true for everything. What do you think, John, if Bino was here, what do you think his reaction would be to the current situation going on today? We'll talk about it later, but the ACC, they've added SMU, they've added Cal and Stanford. So everyone's saying it's not the Atlantic Coast Conference, it's the All Coast Conference now for them. But what would his reaction be to all the changes in college football from a realignment standpoint?
Matt, he'd be beside himself. I mean, there's so many times I wish I could just pick up the phone, you know what I mean, and have his sort of unfiltered rant. You know, I mean, he's not going to be on the air saying it, just dropping every F-bomb he possibly could, telling the truth. What Bino was, he was a straight up and held nothing back type of guy, and I know he'd be really upset. But then again, knowing the side of the business he did. That's another thing in the book. I mean, it's a lot of the behind the scenes TV business, big time college sports. He would have seen it coming eventually, but I don't think he would have saw the rapidity of how quickly it's taken over, and how things have just been consolidated into these super conferences with no real geographical, delineations and all that stuff. Rivalries being broken up, just sort of the fabric of the sport being torn down the middle. That really would have angered him, to be honest.
John, what about Bino was talking about gambling before people were actually talking about gambling all the time.
Right.
And now it's so prolific, it's so in your face. And now there's gambling scandals. I'm going to use in air quotes, but Iowa,
right?
The kids are betting and all this other stuff. Bino was talking about this way before anybody else was, right?
Right. I mean, the guy, he put his first bet in, I think, it was a month after he turned 18 in Pittsburgh, probably a few before that, before he was legal, before the whole thing was legal, so this was part of his DNA way back. And I think he'd probably be shocked to know that the universality of, the commercials and the constant, the pushing with all the different sites and things. Now, I mean, but he would have loved it. He would have loved all the different menus, all the different options you could have. I mean, I remember conversations I had with him. He was a little bit behind, kind of slow on, behind the curve on a lot of things, like some of the really high over-unders. I'll never forget, this is probably about 10, 12 years ago, before he died. Remember the Big 12? It was just all air raid, run and shoot up and down the field, 65, 62. That wasn't out of the ordinary.
Right.
He called me up one day. He's like, Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. He's like, 80, 90 points. I've never seen it over 90. I'm going under. I said, no. I said, it's that high for a reason. You got to go over. And he was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then like an hour after the game, I didn't pick up the phone. It was I was somewhere else, and I listened to the voicemail, and all it was F, you were right. And he hung up.
That's tremendous.
But he was pretty ahead of his time with a lot of things, and that was that was the way he was with pretty much everything.
100%, he wouldn't have used an app. There's no chance that Bino would have used an app to bet. He was a guy who called a guy about a guy, and he had a guy. I mean, I told you the story. The mailman in our Sunday night card game delivered his mail.
Right.
And he used to get the Bino pick of the week on Fridays.
Right.
In the second year I was home from Penn State, I believe it was 1994, the pick of the week from Bino went 11-1.
Ooh.
We thought Bino had an inside track to somebody, but we were betting it, and there were bookies in Pittsburgh that would move it,
right? Because
that was the Bino play, and he was on fire.
He was, yeah. When he would get hot like that, I mean, it was crazy. And he was, you're right, he was old school. He called his guy up. He did everything sort of, over the phone. He was calling the score, the hotline. That's what he would get his scores. There was no internet. He had no cable. There was, obviously no cell phone. So he's calling the score hotline. And then I remember one day it broke, and he was calling me and Ernie Accorsi, the GM of the Giants at the time, because he wanted scores. And for some reason, neither of us are answering. And he figured out we were both at Saturday night mass. And he wanted the late afternoon, going into evening scores. He was so fired up because he couldn't reach either of us, because he wanted us to turn on the TV and tell him, what Purdue was doing, what Ohio State was doing, what the Southern Cal line was up to, and all this stuff. And it was that's when you're part of Bino's world, like you said, there's it's everybody from the mailman to general managers of professional sports teams.
Yeah.
And I was somewhere in the middle of that.
That's very cool. I flashed the book. Here is the book in case you guys want to read it. Beano Cook, Haven't They Suffered Enough? An Unbelievable Career in Sports, PR, and Television, available on Amazon right now, written by John Lucas and Beano Cook. One thing that I'm curious about, because obviously realignment is a major deal, but even back then, players were getting $100 handshakes. Players were getting paid under the table. It's pretty much like especially in the SEC where I was. That's where I first came across Beano, and in College Game Day, obviously was really catapulted by all the SEC appearances. I remember when I was working in Huntsville covering Alabama, when there was a game day in Tuscaloosa, the traffic was quintupled. It was just insane. Everybody wanted to be down there, to be in the crowd, to see everything that was going on. And look, fans love to get, either anti-Beano or pro-Beano, or, whether it be Corso, he picked this, Beano picked this. You'd hear it in the crowd. What about pay for play in the NIL? Did he see it coming? Would he be in favor of players being able to control their name, image, and likeness?
I think yes. I think he understood that they were the cogs in a machine. They deserved their share of it too. I mean, I think the idea that there isn't a lot of rules, or to this point, it's kind of like an unrestricted free agency period where these guys can just do what they want and make a lot of money. He wouldn't have been in favor with the wide openness of the situation, but I know that he wasn't ignorant of the way situations were back then. I mean, we wrote in the book that there was things that have been going on forever. He said he understood that most schools had a back door, whether that was for payouts, for grades, problems getting fixed, swept under the rug. And he said, but in certain places like the SEC or the SWC, they have back porches and back parking lots. So I mean, he knew that those things were all, they're just part of the game. They always will be. Now things are, just like gambling, everything else. Everything has sort of come to the surface. Everything is mainstreamed right now, and I think he saw a lot of that coming. I just don't think he would have liked the rapidity of it and the way, it's being handled. But a lot of that goes back to his thing that one of these days, this sport is going to need a commissioner. And, we wrote in the book that would help solve probably a lot of the problems we have. So he was right about that. I think that's something that's coming down the pipe that we're, going to need to talk about.
Last one for me, John. I know you went to Notre Dame, and right over your shoulder, you got to play like a champion, and you've been to big bowl games and
right like Notre Dame
stuff. Listen, don't move your legs too much because you got them shorts on. I don't want us getting some ratings and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we can
it's Hawaii Friday.
It's Hawaii Friday. Well, it looks like
Rainbow Warrior football tonight. So I got my swim trunks on, my Hawaiian shirt.
That's fantastic. That's more than enough information than we needed. I need to know Notre Dame season wins through a clear lens. You going over? Is this the year they actually win double-digit games? They got 3 tough ones. Is this the year, John? Don't bullshit me. What do you got?
You went from a clear lens. I mean, obviously, I'm biased. I'll be honest. I did bet the over. It was 8.5. I think they're getting more than
you bet it every year, though, right? You do bet it every year.
No, I don't. I'm a realist in a lot of ways. And Beano was kind of surprised, because he was. I'll never forget 2004. I was rooting for Southern Cal to trounce Notre Dame because I knew that was the only way that they were going to find a new coach. I knew that Tyrone Willingham wasn't the answer, and I can't believe you're rooting against your alma mater. I mean, I'm very, very clear-eyed when it comes to things that I see. I call them as I see them, like Yogi and Beano. But no, I took it. I think that I have a gut feeling for some reason Ohio State. I haven't had this type of gut feeling since Notre Dame played Miami in 1990. Notre Dame is going to beat them at home. One of those types of situations.
Really?
Now, Southern Cal and Clemson, those are the other 2 biggies. But I think we're going to take at least one of those 3, maybe 2 of the 3. But given I love Marcus Freeman, I think there might be something in the a pit might jump out of nowhere. Somebody might screw things up, in terms of a playoff run. But I think we are getting that double-digit wins.
I can't stand Notre Dame for a long, long time, but I respect them. I hope they kick the shit out of Ohio State. I can't wait for that. I mean, and your Bino impression is
Right.
spot on.
Mm.
I spent a lot of time sitting with him in that press box when I was interning at KDK. I met you when
Right.
you wrote the book. It's been a tremendous friendship. And everyone that does a Bino does, it's unbelievable. That's my Bino for you.
John, thank you for coming
Outstanding.
on. Appreciate it. Enjoy the game this weekend. Enjoy the season. We'll catch it on the road, all right?
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Enjoy
guys.
Hawaii Friday, please.
Yeah. It's John Lucas, and you guys can go ahead. I'll flash the book up once again if you guys want to go check out the book. Bino Cook, Haven't They Suffered Enough? Unbelievable career in sports and PR and television, available right now on ooh, let me move that. Sorry. Whoop, put him back on. Almost got him.
John behind
Sorry.
behind the scenes in the green room. My God.
We-
He's having Hawaii Friday. We got roll call Friday. He's having Hawaii Friday in Pittsburgh. I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell he's up to, but my God, it looks like it was fun.
Good stuff there. All right. That was fun to grab a hold of that. You can go get the book on Amazon, like I mentioned. Okay. What happened last night? Let's get into this Nebraska game. Nebraska blows it again. How about this tweet? This is something else, because Nebraska's now lost 20 of his last 24 games by single digits. They blew another lead last night. They're up 10-3. And then just an unbelievable amount of mistakes. Fumble. You're driving, you're at midfield. They fumble the ball. They put it back to Minnesota. Minnesota gets an unbelievable touchdown catch in the end zone to tie the game. I thought the left tackle moved. Going back and watching it, it was really close. They could have flagged it for a false start. They didn't. Touchdown in the end zone. Extra point, good.
Nebraska's got foot in.
Yes. Yeah, it was in. Yeah, great catch. Unbelievable catch. Drag the toe. Great catch.
Unbelievable.
The decision to allow Jeff Sims to throw the football, a guy who is a known runner, who had thrown 2 interceptions in the game already, including one in the end zone, in the red zone, in the end zone, where Nebraska could have had 3 points and could have survived. It could have been 13-3 instead of it being 10-3.
Could have been.
This is Groundhog Day for Husker fans. This is just an unbelievable amount of mistakes. He throws 2 seeds over the middle, short little post routes that picked up the first down. You're already over midfield. You need about 15 yards to get into field goal range. But Nebraska decides for some ungodly reason to do an RPO to allow Jeff Sims to throw the football over the middle 30 yards down the field. Safety makes an easy interception, comes right up, picks up the football, a minute plus to go. They go right down the field, 46-yard field goal, 13-10. Nebraska loses the game.
Can't believe.
How do you let Jeff Sims throw the football there?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I saw it and I went, oh, it's hard enough being a Nebraska fan, but like,
yeah, right.
You got a donkey kicking the nuts right
every
there.
game.
Like,
I mean, that's why
to win that football game.
I put +7. I was getting all text. I was on Sports Grid last night with you and Wetzel. I'm getting all sorts of text messages. All my Nebraska friends are like, oh my gosh, see, I told you. They all bet money line. They all thought this was going to be a win. They were all taking victory laps and pounding their chests. They were so excited. Our team's going to start. Matt Rule, here we go. And then you see the mistakes. You see why Nebraska hasn't been able to be successful, because the worst thing that should have happened to Nebraska is they went to overtime. That should have been the worst thing that happened there.
Correct.
You cannot make that mistake. You cannot throw the ball over the middle. You cannot be throwing the football. Run the ball. If the Gophers stop you and you got to punt and pin them down deep, so be it. Trust the defense in 15, 20 seconds to keep them out of a bomb situation and go to overtime.
Yeah.
Now, I get it. You're at home. Overtime could be funky, but losing in overtime, you just go, okay, I lost in overtime. You can accept that. You can't accept losing 13-10. You can't accept that situation where Jeff Sims throws his 3rd interception.
Yeah, it's the first game of the season, but so what's the review? What are they saying today in Lincoln with Rule and
Same old. Nothing's changed.
They're saying the same old.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Oh no, really?
It's the same. I mean, how could you not? They've lost 20 of 24 games by 1 score. That's why Scott Frost got fired. They fired Scott Frost. So in-game decisions and in-game mistakes are not being made. You know, Wetzel asked me the question.
So small. When you make one, like when it's a game like that, which was, I mean, listen, I don't know. The end was exciting. The rest of that game, I tried watching. Boring.
First half was boring, yeah.
Tough watch. But the margins are so slim that one decision like that results in a bad thing, it turns the whole.
I don't know. There's two very big mistakes Nebraska made before that set that up. The turnover at midfield and the interception in the end zone. Nebraska never should have been in that situation to have that game be coming down to one score.
Right.
They should have had a 2-score lead.
That's fact. And like on the flip side, what are they saying in Minnesota? Like, I mean, they finally won a game that they weren't supposed to win and row the boat,
momentum,
and all that other stuff. Like,
absolutely. Let's go. Here we go. So, build on replacing Tanner Morgan. And now we have a quarterback who could come from behind, lead us down, get us into field goal range, 46-yard kick. We got a kicker who can make a game-winning kick. They feel good about themselves. They feel like, okay, that was good. We stole one. That's good. 1-0 start is better than 0-1 start. But from a Nebraska standpoint, I mean, it's just one of those situations from if you're a Husker fan, now the whole year you're worried about everything. Like you thought if you win at Minnesota and you're 1-0, it's changed. You go to Colorado, you can beat Dion. You got a couple of tough games coming up at home.
What if they go to Colorado and lose?
I think it's on the table. Wetzel was asking me last night what I thought the line would be, and it really comes down to what the Buffaloes do at TCU. But say Colorado loses like 41-30.
It's next week.
For Nebraska, right? Colorado? Yeah, but the game's tomorrow for TCU, Colorado.
Oh, yeah. No, the line's already up for Nebraska, Colorado.
What is it? I thought it should be Buffalo's -3.
It could be either way. It could be 3 either way, right?
Yeah, to me, it's dependent upon what TCU, what Buffalo, what Colorado does tomorrow. If they're competitive against TCU, they're going to be home favorites against Nebraska.
Damn, I don't have my college games of the year. I know it's up. Let's see if you guys have it up. FanDuel, DraftKings, see if it's up. I don't want to mess up my Roll Call Friday setup to look at the Westgate, but I think the Westgate has it up.
Okay.
It's 3. It might be Nebraska -3.
It's Nebraska -9.5.
Right now?
That's insanity. That's absolutely insane. Take Colorado +9.5 right now. That line's not right. Nebraska does not beat people by 2. We saw it last night. If they're going to win, they're not going to win by 2 touchdowns. They're not going to win by 10 points. They're going to win by 3 or 4.
There it is. Arctic. Yeah. Nebraska -9.5. Oh my goodness.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. That line's not right. And I think that line will change dramatically. If the Buffaloes look good tomorrow, that number's gone.
Joel Onler in the chat said Sims can run, throws like poo-poo.
Yep. He's right. He's a Georgia Tech quarterback. What does Georgia Tech do? They run triple option. They run. Jeff Sims is a great running quarterback. Why weren't they allowing him to run and roll out? I have no idea. Roll the kid out, give him a run pass option. Don't have an RPO where he's in the backfield and he can't read defenses. The safety was standing literally 10 yards behind where he was throwing. It was an easy come-up pickoff interception.
It's now 8.5 on FanDuel. Thanks, guys, for watching the show at FanDuel. We appreciate
coming
it.
Down. There we go.
The guys in the room. Roll call will commence 1 hour from right now. So, guys, right now, Pacific. I need the cities where you're at, and then we'll do the roll calls in about 45 minutes so we can see the chat flowing. But cities all over the country. Last week, what did we hit? 38 states? And
I believe so, yeah.
3 countries. It was Australia.
Canada.
Australia, England, Canada, and the U.S. So it was 4 countries, 38 states. Roll call Friday. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, city and state right now. JC from KC, I'm curious what the temperature is too in Cleveland.
Can I rant about Gus Malzahn?
Hold on. I already have the glasses on. So
sure. Let's just set this up for a second, okay? So if you're a UCF alumni and you went ahead and you laid the 36.5 points last night and you're like, hey, I think my team's going to go and kill Kent. And I said, Kent's not going to score very much. Need Kent to score under 10 points.
Bam.
49-6. It's 49-6. They get a first down with about 1 minute and 45 to go.
Just down the ball.
Kent's not taking timeouts.
No.
Kent's not going to do that. And if Kent had taken a timeout, I would say go ahead and score. Run the ball in. But Kent has shown no indication that they were interested in stopping. They were tired.
Where is the football right now? Where's the football?
Football's down around the 18-yard line.
Okay, so we're in the red zone, but we're not right in front of the goal line.
Yeah, you're in the red zone. It's 1st and 10, first down. You got about a minute and a half to go. You could take 4 knees and be done. Game over, pack it up, 49-6, throw the ball to the referee, go home. You've covered, so you're good. But the line was 55.5 at close.
The total,
sorry. It was 55.5 at close.
It was.
49-6 is 55.
You could do the math.
The alumni, well, damn straight, I wasn't under 56. So I was doing the math then because I have a bet riding on this. So the alumni, they don't get their over yet. The alumni have the cover, but they don't have the over. So Gus Malzahn is looking up there and he's like, yeah, let's do a fuck you touchdown, guys. Let's go.
Sorry, Will.
54 seconds to go in the game. They run the ball in and they celebrate like we just beat Ohio State.
Covered. Over.
I mean, there are reasons why Gus Malzahn got run out of Auburn on a rail. And his arrogance was one of them.
Oh.
They hated him.
Oh.
They couldn't stand his pompous nature. They couldn't stand the way that he would do things like that. That reflects poorly on the university. On everyone in that building. Say, oh, it's the bounce house, Matt. They want to score. They want to score. They want to score. Yeah, but there's classy things in college football, and one of which is I'm not going to rub it in. I'm not going to run it up on you because I don't need to. What someone said to me last night, well, it was because they're new in the Big 12. They want to announce their presence. Oh. What? So 49-6 is not a good win, but 55-6, oh, fuck, let's go. Here we go. It's all good. Over. What are we doing? Like, I actually feel bad that college football has become like this now, where there isn't anyone thinking, okay, let's not embarrass them. Let's not hang 56 points on this team. Let's just do it the right way. Take a knee. Let's be done with it. And let's celebrate a victory and do it with class. Nope. And I would say this, by the way, whether I was on the over or the under, because you don't need to score that touchdown in week number 1. There's no need.
Thanking Gus today if you had the over?
Yes, I would be thanking him. Sure. I'd be like, congratulations, nice job. Good job. But I wouldn't be mad if he chose not to. Because it makes sense. It's just the right thing to do.
Correct.
And say, okay, because there was a missed field goal, that Central Florida missed a field goal in the game. What I would be saying is that, man, that missed field goal burned me. That if I had that missed field goal, they hit that field goal, it would have gone over by 2 points, and we would have been good. Should have fallen 58. Instead, falls 55, and the game goes over. It should have gone under.
Right.
But scoring a touchdown with 54 seconds to go to make it 56-6, you feel good about yourself? You walk off the field like I'm big man on campus. Someone said, "Oh, the kid that scored is a highly touted recruit who might transfer out if he doesn't get the football." Oh, so that's what we're doing.
Put it on the kid?
Yeah, so that's what we're doing now.
What?
He has to let a third string guy score because if he doesn't, then the kid all of a sudden is going to look to leave. Really?
That's what they said?
It's such a bunch of, it's just garbage. I don't like this version of college football. That's what we're doing. I don't like that. I mean,
the score margins are going to come into play and votes and all this stuff. It's terrible. It's terrible.
For what? For Central Florida? Where are they going?
Well, I mean,
nowhere.
They won the national championship not that long ago.
Yeah,
remember when they anointed themselves the national champion?
Still up on the damn stadium sign. Yeah, they put it up on the stadium.
Well, they won it. That's what they said. When you can say whatever you want, just like social media and
pretty much
people doing this stuff. So, South Dakota. Mike's in the house. Hello, Mike. He would know. College football fans would know. You don't do that, but. It's a pretty good number out of the chute for the odds makers.
Sure.
There's a lot of people in the back rooms today going, man, we had that one.
But they lost
55.
It, but they lost.
Number 56.
Yeah, but
all
what
the
over?
Closing numbers and all that other stuff. It's a good rant by you. That was good. I mean, it's the first day. You can't, that was a much better controlled rant.
It's the only loss I've had. Look, I'm 5-1 in college football now. It's the only game I've lost so far. Okay.
Smoking.
So hot. But not even that. Not even just hot. It's just that's a game that I handicapped. I had the handicap right. And the fact that it doesn't go, it's still lost. And that's just whatever.
That's the game.
It's a frustration. That's the anger that comes from it because a coach could have done the right thing. And the coach decided not to. And there's so many different reasons why. And probably somebody sent a text message to the offensive coordinator saying, hey, dude, I'm on the over, right? Like, Like we're not packing it in, right? We're scoring here, right? Yep, got you, sir. Yes. Hey, Gus. John. He's
Well, the whole
John's on.
team knows. I mean, they got the side and the total. They got the favorite and the over. So I mean, let's get them in the end zone here.
Let's get for the alumni. Let's do it for the boosters. Let's do it for the guys who are upstairs in the press box, who have the suites, who are up there with the coaches. Hey man, we're not stopping, right? We're scoring here, right? Yep. We got you, sir. Don't worry. We got you.
Right.
And don't tell me that's not going on across college campuses, because it is. It was always has been. It's going on even more now.
Sometimes, like, you got to keep this in mind, though. I was at a game at Penn State when they beat Cincinnati 81-0.
Okay.
If you call running play up the middle and the guy just breaks through, what do you want him to do? Fall down?
He didn't break through. They methodically went down the field. He scored from the 6-yard line.
I understand. Is it worse to tell the kids? I don't think it is, but a lot of people will make this other argument. You rubbing it in the guy's face if you tell him, you know what, we were going to score, but now we're not going to score. We're going to sit there and tell you game's over.
I'm not handing the ball off. I'm not going to ask a running back to make that decision. Any running back, any player with the ball in his hands since he was 2 years old, go score, kid. I'm not telling a running back to do that.
Okay.
I'm taking a knee. I'm snapping the football.
That's fine.
I'm going back. I'm bleeding clock, taking a knee. You do that 3 times, the game's over. Unless Kent State calls timeout, then go score. I would 100. If Kent State had called timeout, 100%. If I'm trying to run the clock out and you don't want me to run the clock out, I'm scoring on you. And I would have no problem with Gus Malzahn doing that. That's on Kent State's coach if he did that. But I got to make sure he's going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, the fight was over. Like that was like there's no need for that. Like you hit him when they're down type of blow. Like
this is a hammer fist on a knocked out opponent. Like you're coming in and going bam on his head for no reason. Fight's over. You're right.
It's done.
Not good. Don't like it at all. Absolutely horrible. Utah dominated Florida last night.
Yes, they did.
I was pretty impressed with Utah. Now at home, they're really tough. I don't understand that when people were saying Florida's going to go in there. I don't like Billy Napier. Graham Mertz is a bad quarterback. Okay. He is not good. He's just not. I bet again.
Now you're frozen. First frozen face of the day. Snap your fingers.
1, 2, check. 1, 2, check.
Come back.
1, 2, check. Hello.
1, 2.
And are we back? Or no, now we're back.
Okay.
So
last thing you said was Graham Hurts, and you went like this.
Oh, Graham Mertz is awful. Graham Mertz. I bet against him at Wisconsin all the time. The fact that he was going to go on the road to a very hostile environment and beat Utah was somewhat laughable to me.
Who thought that? Seriously.
A lot of people did. I saw people saying, take Florida. Here they go. The number went down from 6.5 to 4.5 on the news that they weren't going to have Cam Rising.
Oh, Perrault. It opened as high as 9.5.
Okay.
There was rhombuses and parallelograms that were piling in that CLV all the way from 9.5 to 9 to 8.5 to 8 to 7.5 to 7, 6.5 to 6, 5.5. Once it gets to 5, you didn't really beat the closing number because that's what it was. But man, I posted that CLV today to see me in the CLV can just holding it like this, like, come on in. You can only use the CLV so much. Good numbers lose too. Bad numbers win. The game is to get the best number. You just can't cry about it.
I missed 4. I got 4.5. I got the second best number.
There you go. But that's good.
It was 4 for a split second, and then got the 4.5.
But you always want to get this game of gambling, booking it, betting it, is always to get the best number. You just can't say, well, I had the best number. I lost. I was on the dead ass wrong side, but I got the good number. There's not one person that thinks that they bet Florida that could have watched that game and said that was the right side of anything other than taking a donkey kick in the nuts.
Or just betting the under. If you bet the under, then okay.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. But I like Utah. At home, Utah is going to be a tough team. And when they get Rising back, they're going to be a fun team to watch in the Pac-12. They're going to be tough. They did exactly what I thought they were going to do. They dominated the line of scrimmage as a physical football team.
That was a physical game. I was watching that game a lot. And then when, me and you were on, I had it on the screen. That was a physical football game. Like I just kept going. And I don't know if it's me getting older because I love the contact when I played hockey. I love the contact. I still love the contact now. If anybody wants to bump into me, I always like to get a little physical. But man, I'm watching these hits were like banging each other. They're a good football team, at least that way.
Yeah, they've always been physical. That's why I like them, because they maul people. They absolutely maul people. When they get into high shootouts, that's when they get into trouble. But games in the 20s, they're a very difficult team to beat. When it's being decided at the point of attack or the line of scrimmage, they win more often than not.
It's a really hard place to play too.
Oh, Salt Lake is super hard. You don't go in there non-conference wise and win that game. Conference teams have a tough enough time playing in Salt Lake. And an SEC team, man, that was meat to the lions. They were ecstatic. They were ready to go in that football game. Big win for Utah. Yeah. Speaking of crazy big wins, how about the Atlanta Braves? Grand slam in the second inning. They go up 7-1. And then Mookie Betts got going, and they almost came back 8-7 the final. Couple things to note in this game at the top, which this game was absolutely nuts. Mookie Betts ends August with 33 runs. In the last 15 years in Major League Baseball, there have been 2 players in 2 occasions where a player scored more than 33 runs or more in a single calendar month. Mookie Betts has done that in the last 2 months.
So only 2 times in the last 15 years was Mookie back-to-back months in the summer of 2023.
Insane. But Ronald Acuna, how about this? Inaugural member of the 30 home run, 60 stolen base club. There are 4 members of the 40-40 club. No one has ever hit 40 home runs in 50 stolen bases. Acuna has hit at least 10 home runs in a month 2 times, in August of 18, August of 19.
Yeah.
He might get to the 40-60 club this coming season.
He'd be the charter member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he gets that, the MVP is his. Forget it.
The MVP is his to lose, I still think.
I would agree.
What Mookie's doing is amazing, but the one guy's doing it too and doing crazy stuff. I'm not going to lie. After it was 7-1, I was like, the Braves again. I just need this game over 8. It got over 8, and I stopped really watching it, paying attention to it. But I was getting texts from our guy, Rainmaker Lou, who's 5 days away from arriving in Vegas. Can't wait to see him and the Breadmen. But we had mentioned on the show there's going to be a lot of home runs. And then we went on Sports Grid and said the same thing. Pick a guy on either team and try to find the right home run prop. There was a couple, Riley, Acuna.
Grand slam, Acuna. Mookie hits 2. 3-run and a 2-run for Mookie.
So the game flew over. That was good. But I didn't really pay attention. I didn't realize the Dodgers were coming back. And I was like,
Muncy's home run. I turned it on once when Muncy went out. I was like, wait a minute, it's 8-7, because he was 16-1 in the second inning. You could have taken the Dodgers 16-1.
Correct. Yes. And I paid attention when Mookie hit the second one. I was like, all right, wait, it's 8-6 there. And then Muncy 8-7. Okay.
And then 2-1 in the 9th.
Which was a sweat. Exactly. Because I was like, I can't have been up 7-1 in the second.
And blow it.
Blow it. Like that. Those baseball losses like that are brutal.
Especially in a game for a team you might see later on in the year.
Right?
That's a nice message to send. Like, hey, by the way, you might go up big, but don't think the game's over. We can come back with the best of them.
There's a lot of people here from all over the country. They were all watching the Braves and the Dodgers. Alan Smintana said he bet the Braves. Wow, what a night.
There was nothing else to watch after the football games were over. It was just the Dodger game. Of course, everybody was watching the Dodger game.
Yeah. DJ said his heart was racing last night. He didn't even have money on it, but he's a big Braves fan. This is an important series for the fans. Is it an important series for the players as far as a preview of the NLCS?
I mean, it's just a measuring stick. It's just, let's see where we are. I'm going to see pitches from guys who I'm going to see in October. Right. You know, if you're the Braves, you're like, give us Lance Lynn, please. Thank you. We'll look forward to that matchup in a 7-game series. Throw that guy twice, please. So if I'm a Dodger fan, I'm not feeling too good. I mean, Strider got lit up too. So, I mean, it was, the bullpen got crushed.
It's just one of those things. These teams are so deep hitting lineup wise. that good pitchers can get through the order once, sometimes twice. But that third time through, if you make a mistake,
Good night.
boom. They call it a piss missile. Somebody said, who calls it a
Jared
piss
Carabas
missile?
is wow. You're adopting Carabas's.
Well, I heard it and I was like, wow. I heard one of the kids say
that's
it.
been Carabas's claim to fame for probably a decade now.
Well, I heard one of the kids say it that went away to college to play baseball. He called it a piss missile. And I knew someone in the media said it. I don't know who. But like, there's no messing around. And that was the ballpark was electric. The whole scene was electric. That the Dodgers come all the way back.
Yeah.
It's a fun baseball game. It's a fun series. It's a fun series.
Again, we'll get to that game tonight. Dodgers are dogs again somehow in some way. I don't know how.
What do you mean?
We'll talk about later. Hold on. ACC today officially added Cal, Stanford, and SMU. What happens to Washington State and Oregon State now? They're literally left without a conference. They're going to the Mountain West Conference, right? It's all they can do.
I guess
nobody wants them. They're literally the home for misfit
no,
toys.
we don't need you. We don't want you. Big 12, sorry. We don't nothing. No interest.
Big 12's not taking them. No way. There's no need. You have everything you need with Oregon and Washington going. Well, I guess they're going to the Big 10, right? I got to forget who's going where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Sorry.
don't have a corner.
Arizona.
They don't have a corner of the country up there. That would be the last piece, and that would keep a Western division and then an Eastern division.
So the Big 12 could take.
I think that's the only thing left if it's not the Mountain West.
I mean, it is like-minded. Kansas State, Iowa State,
right?
Washington State, Oregon State. It is sort of a like-minded. So maybe you can wind up in the Big. I mean, that would be an absolute gift if they wound up in the Big 12.
For sure, a gift for them. But I don't know. I woke up and I knew it was. We had talked about it a little bit with B. Howe Wednesday, and then woke up to that news, and I was like, "Yeah, there's just literally no geography ties to anything now." They're just
SMU is in the ACC. Think about that for a second. Southern Methodist in Dallas, Texas, is in the ACC.
Yeah.
What? How is that possible?
So is San Francisco.
Right. Cal and Stanford. Right. Yeah.
What? The All Coast Conference. I saw our boy Emerson tweeted that.
It's a good point. It should be just
leave
called
the
All
ACC,
Coast. Yeah.
Call it the All Coast Conference.
Yeah, because Texas, Dallas, you got the Gulf of Mexico, and now you're gonna have the West Coast there, so you could get away with it and call it the All Coast Conference. Keeps the ACC. You're just changing the word Atlantic.
CBW just came in the chat, and this is why I love doing this show with you guys watching in the chat and then contributing. Is this true? ACC can't fall below 15 teams. Otherwise, ESPN gets to renegotiate the TV deal?
Correct. They are taking these three teams because they believe that Florida State, Clemson, and one other
North Carolina?
It might be North Carolina, are leaving in 2 years.
Oh.
Florida State's basically told them we're leaving. Florida State's gone. They're leaving the ACC.
I feel like they keep telling them right in their face, like, we're leaving.
Yeah. I mean, because they basically, Florida State's the one who released the numbers and said, you guys in the ACC, you're $30 million every year. We're losing $30 million to the SEC in the Big Ten. So we're going there. Once we get the invite, we're going there. And then they're going to join the SEC. Clemson will have the same thing. If FSU goes, Clemson goes. So those two are gone. So they have to preemptively get ahead of this. And that's why that's right. CBW's right. So I forget who the third team is who they think is going to leave. And it might be North Carolina, who is going to leave and go to either the SEC or to the Big Ten. Florida State and Clemson are going to the SEC. That's a done deal. It may only happen in 2 years, but that's a done deal.
Florida State and Clemson.
Yeah.
I mean, those are natural fits.
100%. I mean, you want to talk about a conference. The SEC is going to be.
Is it Miami could be the other team?
That's it. Thank you. Yep. That's it. Thank you. Yes, it is Miami. Yes.
So the SEC will completely own the state of Florida?
Correct. And the biggest recruiting ground in Miami. Yeah. So those are the three. Thank you. Yes, those are the three schools.
Gosh.
Right. So Florida, Tallahassee, or Gainesville, Tallahassee, Miami will all be in the SEC. Dream situation for football fans down there. Dream.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, Bama plays down there every couple of years, every 4 or 5 years for that very reason, because they recruit the market so heavily. Now won't have to, as they'll play there consistently.
Right.
But yes,
Wow.
those are the 3 schools. So that's why that happened. That's why they made that move today.
Nobody wants Duke?
No one wants Duke or North Carolina because those are basketball schools. You're going to get another all basketball conference. The Big East won't be the only one. It's a West Coast Conference on the West. It's the Big East on the East. You're going to get another one where these schools that play high-level college basketball are going to say, you know what, football's killing this. We play high-level college basketball. We're going here. Like Notre Dame will need a place to play. So you could have like a Duke, North Carolina, Notre Dame, and then look around and see who else might want to join from an all-basketball conference.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So you break away anyone who wants to break up football and basketball and play in different conferences, which is possible. You may see that happen more often. Used to happen a lot. Now that's going to happen more often. I think now, if you prioritize college basketball over football, you know, if your track record, if your money like Duke and Carolina, Wake Forest, you know, those types of programs. So, we talked about Tennessee and Houston, the Oilers, the throwback for each team. Should the Texans wear it? Should the Titans wear it?
Okay.
Well, we found out this morning that coming up on Saturday, the Cougars are wearing these uniforms in their game this weekend against UTSA.
Those look exactly like the Houston Oilers uniforms.
Yes, they do.
What does that say on the helmet?
Houston.
That is... I got to admit, I'm a sucker for the baby blue.
Fair or foul? You like it or not?
I love it.
It's getting kind of confusing, is it not, as to who gets to wear this color? Who gets to do the throwback baby blue? Because the Oilers
doing it now.
So the Titans.
I mean, the Brewers have a baby blue City Connect. Like everybody's got the baby blue. I'd sleep in the baby blue if I could. I love it.
So that's now 3 teams that are doing Oiler throwback. The Titans are doing it. The Texans are doing it, and the Cougars are doing it. Should we just bring back the Oilers?
Didn't Old Miss do it?
No, that's their colors.
Like that too?
No, Ole Miss colors are like that. Ole Miss has a third. That's not a throwback. It's Ole Miss.
Put it in the chat. Did you guys like those? I think we're going to get almost all yeses. Those are fire. Looks nice. Those are worth 2 points to the spread. Like or dislike. Love them. Like I think that's a no-brainer.
Okay. I don't know.
It's just hard when the colleges keep changing the uniforms. When you're watching the games.
Right. Like turn on. You're like, what is that? Like, who am I watching? I agree. So I don't know. You got 3 teams. Getting rather confusing as to who's throwing back to what for what school.
It's very hard to keep track of.
I don't understand it personally. I get what they're trying to accomplish, but the Titans, the Texans, and now the Cougars are all 3 throwbacks to the Oilers. Just bring back the Oilers, please. Like if everybody wants them back so badly, just bring them back. Let them be a part of this.
There's not a person in the chat that said they disliked them.
It's hard to dislike them.
Moves the line. Yes, I love them. Man, I love you Blues. It's H-Town. Let them do it. Are you good with it? Because it's Houston.
I am, but it's college versus pro. It's like, I don't know. It's getting confusing.
The college has become pro, for goodness sake.
I know, but it's confusing.
There's no lines now.
It's confusing to me. I don't understand. All right, tonight, let's get in some games. Miami of Ohio at Miami, Florida.
Don't be this guy. Come up to the window and say, give me Miami.
I know, right? Which one? Hurricanes or the Red Hawks? You got to be talking about which.
And there's probably people at the window that don't know the difference between the two. I mean, so I've worked with them. Believe me, I'm not speaking out of turn.
Right.
There's guaranteed people working, especially this week, because there's people been training that are getting thrown to the fire this week. The first week is just like, please get the drawer close. Like, just make sure that you kind of just keep it close. But somebody comes up to the window and says, give me Miami.
Right.
And you're like,
which one?
Well, no, you don't even ask. You just look and see. In Miami, Florida, the home team usually, that's the one you get. And then you get a void. Well, I want the other one. And then someone like you comes up and says, give me the Red Hawks. And a writer looks at you like, what did you say? I don't even know who the Red Hawks are.
Right.
You put it in the rundown, and I was like, this is good. You're supposed to differentiate between the two.
Yeah.
But this is the Hurricanes, right? We're going with the U here. This is done. Boom.
Yeah. You're going to run it up, I think. Central Michigan against Michigan State. Down to 13.5 after a 14.5 open. Money on the Chippewas.
Are you comfortable laying double digits over 2 scores with a Big Ten team after watching that debacle last night?
You need to get your damn head checked. If you're betting the Spartans tonight, I need to know either 1, what year you graduated, or 2, are you high? I can't see this.
Can we put all that on a t-shirt? I have 2 questions for you.
What
year did you graduate? Are you high?
Yeah.
I need you.
I
need 2 things from you: graduation year and a check.
I saw
Spell check.
14.5 last night. I couldn't bet it fast enough. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, I love I love the Chippewas. Central Michigan's was like, I love betting them last year. They're a fun MAC
Are they
school.
bringing a lot of guys back? I have no idea.
Yes, they're one of the top returning teams in all of college football with experience.
Time's that game?
Tonight, I think it's 7:00.
Oh, let me see.
So many of these kids who play
13.5, 45 is the total dog play.
Yeah, I'm on 14.5. It's down to 13.5. Once it crossed, it got underneath 14. I forget it, but I got 14.5, 14 last night. It's wild to me because every kid basically who's from the state of Michigan who plays for CMU wanted to play either for Michigan or Michigan State. This is their Super Bowl. You have a chance to knock off a Big Ten team on the road. I'm not sure they win the game, but I got over 2 touchdowns. I don't think they lose by 3 scores.
No. Guys in the chat watching the show, crowd's building. Roll call Friday starts in 30 minutes from right now, so just be ready to go. But the boys in Atlantic City just joined the show. Billy Schweim,
Hi,
Mike Carlin. I do the show with them on Saturday mornings. They said to say hello.
What's up?
They're going to do a live show from the book. They talked to me about us coming out there
To AC.
At the AC. I don't know if you've been to Atlantic City, but
I told you this. I stuck in the AC all the time when I was 18, 19, and 20.
the statute of limitations is gone.
It's
So you can
phenomenal.
say that.
I walked into Trump. I walked into Taj Mahal. I walked into right off the boardwalk. It was great. I just watched the security guards and scooted right through. It was awesome. Oh yeah, it was phenomenal.
Yeah. So they joined the show, but
I haven't
boys and girls in the chat, are you laying or taking? All right.
When's the
We'll
last
do
time I was in the
Michigan State or
Have you,
Central.
by the way, have you been to the Borgata?
No.
Oh,
I have not.
whoa. I've only been there once.
I have not been to the Borgata. I'm like you.
Ocean City and the Borgata. Ocean City wasn't open when I was down there, but I want to go to Ocean City, and I went to Borgata once. I want to go. I want to go check
Ocean
it out
City,
again.
New Jersey?
No, the property.
Oh.
There's a casino down there.
We went up to Ocean City with me and the girls to put our feet in the sand and walk the boardwalk and do all that stuff. That's where I found the hat guy.
Nice.
It's great. But boys and girls in the chat right now, Michigan State, just put Mich State or Central Mich.
CMU.
Yeah, CMU. That's good. Who do you got? 14 and let's use 14 as the number.
I have 14.5.
That's fine. We'll use 14 as the number. That's the current number right now. There's some 13.5s. Who do you got? I think we're going to get more dogs in the chat. I think more people are going to say the dog.
We have a smart chat. Talk to me about this line. This is one of the largest line moves of the week. Hawaii was catching 10.5 points. Now they're catching 3.
Just a bad number at the beginning. Shouldn't have been that high.
It was 7 2 days ago.
That's a more reasonable number, but obviously the sharp market or the parallelograms or the rhombuses, I can't keep track. They all have that. They all have Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm on Stanford.
Are you?
Give me -3. Give me the Pac-12 school. I think it's actually a benefit that Stanford hasn't played a game yet because Hawaii played 6 days ago in Nashville. They played a game like inside of a week and played 2 games, and they had to fly back from Nashville. And there's game tape on them. And I know new coach at Stanford. We don't know much about Stanford. They were awful last year. They were horrible against the spread last year. I'm just taking the better football team from a player perspective. It's, Emmitt Smith's kid is the starting running back for Stanford. It's -3.
Emmitt Smith's kid.
EJ Smith, I think his name is. Yeah.
How about that?
Is playing for Stanford. I just think they run the football. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a great game, but I don't think Hawaii gave up a ton of yards to Vanderbilt. Their offense got going late when Vandy kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit and they came back. I was on Hawaii at +17.5.
Right.
But I don't think they win the game. Line's 3.
I I don't know. Everything I've heard, talk to people. I saw a little bit of Hawaii in game one. I like Hawaii. I think
I
they
watched
win the game outright.
everyone's on Hawaii. I'm fading it. I'm going
Yeah.
against it. It's too much group thing for me on this because I think it's a power. It's Stanford's still a Pac-12 school. There's still a power. It's still a power.
They
school.
are. I just like you see the first time coaches and you just I hesitate laying the points on the road, especially over there.
I think
Friday
the emotion
night,
got,
Hawaii night. That's why Lucas was wearing the Hawaii stuff. He had a hat on that he got at the Notre Dame Hawaii game. He actually went to see Notre Dame play in Hawaii. Just sent me a text. So he loves the Hawaii Friday night.
Everyone's on Hawaii. This is the thing, but I think this is going to be a tired football team. I think Stanford late pulls away. Tight game, and then Stanford pulls away because they haven't played. And I think they're just the bigger bodies, and I think the travel, and I think the fact that they're playing, a game, 2 games in 6 days, not easy.
Right.
You're playing an SEC school on the road, turning around, coming home to pick on a team. Stanford's been sitting.
Vanderbilt is an SEC team by Nate.
No, they're still they're an SEC team. Regardless, they're still an SEC team.
Oh, when you talk about them in the SEC, they're always like they just benefit from being in the SEC. They get, their season wins is 3. Come on.
The best lines, if you ever talk to a Vanderbilt player, the best lines is what they'll tell you that they say to the other teams when they're losing in the pile. It's really funny.
When Vanderbilt's winning,
when Vanderbilt's getting beaten down by an Auburn, an Alabama, a Tennessee. What they say inside
really?
The scrum when the game's like 41-0. They'll say like, enjoy this now because you'll be working for me in 2 years. like they just say really like
smart guy, witty humor. That's what they give you.
They say it to them all the time of like, enjoy this now because later I'm your boss.
Right. I'll remember that.
I'll remember what's happening right now when you're selling insurance for me in a couple of years. It's too good. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like, those are the burns that you're like, all right, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to games on Saturday. North Carolina, South Carolina, Charlotte. Total opened at 60.5. Now it's 64.5. Any chance this game goes under?
I don't think so.
Right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, unless there's drives stalled or missed field goals and all that other stuff, like both teams are scoring high 20s minimum. So we got to get in the 30s and we should be good.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch Drake May. I can't wait to watch the Harbor kid for South Carolina. I can't wait to watch. This is where I'm at Saturday night. This game, I've circled this game for a month and a half. I cannot wait for this game. I have over South Carolina wins at 6. So if they win, I'm good. I got Drake May over 3150 passing yards. Let's go with a shootout. Let's put a big yardage.
Right.
Drake May 18-1 to win the Heisman. Let's go Drake May putting up 4 touchdowns. Let's go 45-40 final.
That would be fun.
Let's go.
That would be fun. Yeah, I will have this one on record. I have plans on Friday night or Saturday night. You know that. So I won't be able to see this live. But I have a feeling this is going to be one of the best games of the day on Saturday. I hope it is. I think South Carolina is live to win the game.
Agreed.
And I think both teams trade scores all the way up to the fourth quarter. So it should be fun.
UMass is down to 35.
Stop the nonsense. Here we
39.5 was the open. It's down to 35. It stopped at 35. It looks like 35 is the basement.
Yeah, that's
I have 2 plays in this. I have plus 38 and I have plus 36.5.
Really?
I have 2 numbers on this game with UMass.
And
Auburn wins by 40.
How many points is UMass going to score, Perrault?
I think the final score is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 40-10.
Okay. That gets you to cover.
That's what I think the final score is going to be. I don't know if Auburn gets more than 40 points.
You better hope UMass gets 10.
Oh, I think they're getting 10. I think UMass is going to score 10 points. Yes. I think 1 touchdown, 1 field goal. Yeah.
1 touchdown, 1 field goal.
Yeah. That's what I think UMass will get that against Auburn. Probably they may get it in scrub time, but I think they're going to get it.
Okay. Does Auburn call off the dogs if they're up?
I don't know. First year head coach. I don't know. Probably not at home. Probably not, because there's not going to be many good days for Auburn.
Yeah.
But I could see them having a difficult time against Don Brown's defense putting up 50 points.
Yes.
So I think 40 is a good number, and I think UMass will keep it. I think they'll lose by 30. So I have, they can lose by 35, and I win 2 bets.
40-3, 41-3 would be very interesting.
That's good.
Around the right numbers.
So
that would be very interesting. I have a feeling we'll be talking about this one on Monday or trading texts on Saturday. That it's amazing how the number could fall between the 39 and the 35.
Probably so. Here's my question. If UMass loses by any less than 28 points, I'm going to be ecstatic. They can lose
28.
if they can lose by less than 4 scores.
What the hell that's unbelievable.
If they can go to Auburn on the Plains, go down there and have it even be remotely competitive. Big opportunity for UMass. They got winnable football games coming down the pike. It'll be fun. I mean, I just need one more to go over their wins.
This team would ever get to a bowl game.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, it's not insane.
You'd actually be excited by that.
Hell yeah. They play Miami of Ohio at home.
The Red Hawks.
Then they play Eastern Michigan on the road.
Lose. Okay.
Then they play. I don't know about that.
Lose.
Then they play New Mexico at home.
I should win that game.
Arkansas State at home.
Over. Oh, they could win that game too. We could have 3.
Toledo at home.
They're not beating Toledo next.
I don't know. They could maybe. And then they play at Penn State.
No chance.
At Army. Home for Merrimack. At Liberty. That's from my hometown.
Right.
And that's where my brother went in North Andover.
Andover.
At Liberty and home against UConn. Rivalry game.
They ain't beating UConn.
November 25th. I'm telling you this.
No
I may actually have to figure something out. I don't know, depending on where we are with the proxy service and what's going on and everything else over Thanksgiving. I may have to go home for that game. If UMass could beat UConn to get to a bowl game, and I could be present to MF UConn to their face.
Nobody wants to see that.
I have to do this.
Nobody needs
this has
to
to be
see
done.
It
It'd be phenomenal. Go decked out my UMass gear on Thanksgiving, on the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
You kidding me? You know what's fun that would be to be there in Amherst to watch, go stay with my brother, take Madeline to her first college football game.
It's going to be cold.
quote unquote college football. It's kind of a college football game. In name only college football.
What's wrong with you?
It's not really a college football game.
I don't think
UConn is not a college football game.
It's not. It's not.
They look like football players.
The chat wants to know if you're high. They want to know if you're high. What year did you graduate and are you high?
I'm high on life. I'm excited. It's football. It's phenomenal. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to bet baseball until next Tuesday. It's great. I'm in love with it.
God.
Your team is now 20.5-point favorites against West Virginia. How high is too high?
Well, it's going to peak at 21.
And that's it. That's the top.
I think so. I was down at the South Point this morning, saw Chris and Vinny and the boys and stuff, and they're the only 21 on planet Earth.
Wow.
And I said, anybody bet West Virginia with you yet? He said, nope. I said, okay, just curious, because I knew it was 21. So we'll see the totals coming down a lot. I mean, there's a couple places down south that they're 48.5.
With a 21-point line. Wow.
Opener was 53.
How many points will West Virginia score?
That's you've actually solved the Rubik's Cube if you can pick that one up. If you can figure that out.
17?
But that's the number. There you go. If they can get 17, it might go over. If they get, I think they got to get 17 to get over. 38-17 is what? I don't want to hurt your head.
Not a cover.
38-17 is 55.
Yeah. Oh, for a total perspective.
For the total.
Okay. Yeah.
That gets you over the initial number.
Yeah, but it's 21. It's on the number right now from a cover.
Correct. That's where it's at. So if you're looking.
But West Virginia's Strength, according to BHOW
Yep.
this week, is their offensive line, right?
Correct.
So could they burn the clock?
That's the handicap.
Okay.
They're going to run the ball, limit a possession or two less than Penn State would ideally like to have, keep the game short, game goes under. That's
See, there is
exactly
a
the handicap.
value, but the only thing is there is a value for Penn State to blow the doors off West Virginia.
Oh, we're going for it. You want to talk about excited? This
Well,
is
not even
gonna be
that. There's a
fun.
recruiting standpoint where
All of it.
you're recruiting against the same region, so you
Yeah.
want to knock their teeth in.
Yeah.
You don't want anybody to even think about going to West Virginia.
Come on. I mean, if you're thinking about the two, it's pretty obvious stuff.
It is, but look, playing time's playing time. So
Playing time is playing time.
So-
And big, West Virginia's in a Big 12, so that's
yeah.
there's decent schools.
there's an
and
incentive for James
Yeah.
Franklin to hang a number.
There's always an incentive to hang a number on a rival like this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I lean Penn State to lay the points with Penn State. Ohio State is a 30.5-point road favorite against a Big Ten team.
Hate this game.
You hate this game.
Well, again, this is one of my math problem things. It's 30. It's down to 30,
Okay.
but the total's 59. So,
I mean, can Indiana score?
again, right. Good question. Yes. 10. Did they score more than 10?
I don't know. I'm going to say yes. They're at home.
How many touchdowns? I have Ohio State scoring 6 touchdowns, right? So when I look at it, it's 42. Maybe a field goal, 45. What do we got to get? We got to get 14. We got to get more than 14 to get to 60. 45-14.
Huh.
So, there's a procedure to doing these lines and
Here's the
totals when
problem.
we start talking
Here-
through. I don't
here-
know.
Here's the problem. Ohio State's going to play both quarterbacks. They're not taking the foot off the gas. They're playing both quarterbacks. So
Right.
they'll run the score up.
Oh, J-Dow bets Ohio State team total. There you go. What is it? If somebody in the chat find the Ohio State team total, that's probably, I feel better about that play than I do about
59.5 is the total.
is the
now.
game total.
Yep.
So it's probably, is it 42?
Ohio State
41 and a
is
half?
44.5.
44.5. Oh, I still got it. I didn't even look.
44.5. So they're saying
Hey.
14 points for Indiana. Can they get to 17? They get to 17, they go over their team total. What about betting under or over the team total for Indiana? That's 13.5.
Okay, so how do you feel about Ohio State's defense in this game?
It's Ohio State.
It's a lot of question marks about the offense and the two quarterbacks, and
Yeah, but
all
it's
this
Ohio
other stuff.
State. I mean, they have a defense. They have 5 stars everywhere. It's Ohio State. Like, Indiana's going to have a tough time.
At home.
Yeah, at home.
Yeah. Just give me the Ohio State team total. That's what I feel most confident about. Wow. Chris Otto, our friend PSU Otto, it's a big day, right? Penn State opens. He'll be at his anniversary dinner during the PSU West Virginia game. Happy anniversary, Chris.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
It's great.
A couple quick ones before we do Roll Call Friday.
Yep.
Virginia at Tennessee in Nashville. Neutral site game. I'm only bringing this up because you have obviously a Tennessee team. Hooker's gone, but the kid that Hooker beat out is the quarterback now for Tennessee. In Nashville, Virginia's been bad. Vols might throw a number up here.
27.5. The total's 56. Oh, I'm getting my head hurts because we had a rule in the book. You couldn't parlay or tease a game where the point spread and the total had to be 3 times the point spread because it's correlated. Never comes into play most weeks except this week because the spreads are so high. You can't make the total in a game 70. So you got 27 and 56. And I just immediately, my head went, I had to go through in the software and click no teasers, no parlays. We had a guy that was his job. And when he missed it, we'd be sitting there watching the ticker, and somebody at some location was parlay side and total, Tennessee and over. It's a correlated parlay. If Tennessee covers the spread, most likely the game goes over, especially the first halves. If you can find anywhere that lets you do the first half side and total. Because sometimes that's a different button to click. If you guys are watching a show in Sportsbooks, my consulting fee, just reach out, SportsB Cake and Sig. I'll let you know.
Hold on, we'll try right now. Let's see.
Yeah, you probably won't be able to do first half side of total, but if you can, those are good bets. There's no end of game chicanery. You get the starters the whole first half.
So this first half spread is 14.5.
Yep.
And the first half points is 29.5. And let's see. Well, according to FanDuel, you can do it. It's a plus 178 parlay.
There you go.
Tennessee minus 14.5, over 29.5 in the first half.
Oh boy.
Is a plus 178 parlay.
Sometimes just remember me when you speak with me. Just speak.
So what you need? You need 28-7 or 28-3.
Sounds pretty legit to me. Tennessee's going to score what? 6 touchdowns, 3.5 minimum.
Oh yeah, for sure.
6 touchdowns times 7 is 42.
So FanDuel lets you do it. If you want to jump in on that, you can do that if you'd like. All right, 2 quick baseball ones before we get to Roll Call Friday.
Yes.
Freed against Urias tonight. Dodgers are home dogs again. Totals 8.5.
Yeah, what part don't you understand? The Braves are a better baseball team right now.
Yeah, but they lost last night 8-7. They came back from behind. You have Urias going tonight. It's a big game for the Dodgers.
Gigantic game for the Dodgers.
I like the Dodgers tonight.
I think the market's going to agree with you as we get closer to game time. Nothing's happened yet with that. But
because everyone's betting football. No one's betting baseball. It's off the radar screen.
It's true. Wetzel asked us yesterday when we were on the show, well, what is the handle like? I mean, there's not even anyone in the book that even asks about it.
No.
You don't even need to put the sheets out. You don't even need it's like it's over. That's it. You buried the Red Sox a couple days ago. For a lot of people, baseball is buried until the playoffs.
Further notice.
No September baseball betting.
Who do you like?
I like the Braves
again. Okay. All right. Baltimore is a road favorite against Arizona tonight.
What a weird matchup to be having now in September.
But it's a big series for both.
Gigantic.
Both need it.
Wow. I didn't look at the line until just now.
Okay.
I assumed that the Arizona would be favored by now. Wow. Davies at home?
Other way?
No. It's coming down. There's a couple places that are minus 113, minus 115. I like Arizona at first blush. I can't believe they're no favorite.
Baltimore on the road scares me, so I don't know.
That's what I mean. This is I get Arizona tonight. What's the pitching matchup tomorrow? They're not listed. This is a hard time of year. You want to talk about
there's a game with both teams having an undecided pitcher. I forget which one it is, but there's undecided. I was like, it's a first. Neither team knows who they're throwing.
Cubs and Reds, game 2. They're playing a doubleheader today.
Oh, right. No one, they're like,
I told Bromwell Camp this morning. Cubs, big game, big series. Cubs Reds all weekend. There's some good baseball series this weekend that'll get lost in the shuffle between some of these things, but undecided.
Time for Roll Call Friday.
Who do you take in undecided?
I don't know.
All right, guys, we need you right now. Put in your area code, 3-digit area code where you're at. Now, while you were talking before, I mean, some of the cities were all over the place. I mean, we are talking different places, new places, old places. Please put your area code right now where you're watching and listening from. What do you got?
So if you guys are going to do the super chat for us to do topics, if there's a football game we didn't touch on that you are curious about, remember we're on the air on Monday. So don't ask us about Clemson Duke because we will get to that on Monday. So don't worry about that breakdown, that handicap. But any game on Sunday, any game on Saturday, you have a question of, you can do a super chat. We'll get to it during bonus time once we're done here on Sports Grid in about 25 minutes.
Excellent. All right, so I'll do these names and area codes. Wow, it's starting to flow already. Let me rewind it back here.
Flowing was going crazy.
It was going nuts. This is fun, guys. I mean, I can't thank you
nuts.
guys enough.
I'm watching it. It's going crazy.
Can't thank you enough. When we first started doing this show, is this show number 420, by the way?
Tomorrow, I think
Monday
is 420. Yeah, because I have it bookmarked.
Okay.
Because I got to come in with some fun stuff.
I can't wait. I don't.
And we're not on Sports Grid either, so there's no need. We can do whatever we want. This would be great on Monday.
So like Monday would be like a full BVB bonus time.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh boy, it may get loose. Gonna have to warn the people. All right. So, but I remember the beginning.
Yeah. Well, Monday's 420.
Monday.
How did you know that? That's pretty good. Monday's show 420.
I have been waiting for that I've been counting since we did show 400. I've been like 5. So it was either today or Monday. So that's good to know. But no, I remember when we started this thing, and there was a couple people in the chat, and it was like, our kids and a couple other people started watching it. Now, literally, to see the growth and the excitement is just fantastic. So
I feel very justified because I told somebody this was going to happen in terms of the time we needed. And I remember having meetings every Tuesday where I had to sit there and the person would say to me, "Are the numbers what you thought it was going to be? Are the numbers what you thought it was going to be?" And I was like, yeah, and they're going to be a lot better very soon. You just got to give us the time to build the audience up. Don't worry about that. Yeah, but I thought it would grow faster. What, from scratch with no help and us building it on our own backs? That type of thing? Oh, right. It will happen. Relax. So I feel very justified that we've got 100 people, concurrently watching this show at the moment.
Yes, sir. Joel Onler, 319. JPC the fourth, 313. Whitrock, also in the 319, which is Iowa. Ross Randall, 978. Jimmy Jack, 4Ks, 585. Andy O in the 864. I have no idea where 864 area code is. Never seen it before. Thank you for being here, Andy. Francisco Ochoa, my guy. Packers, 760 area code. Eron Sean, 703. J Buck, 603. Hold it down back there, son. Keep going. Keep breathing. Keep showing up. Rainmaker, 412. Be picking this guy up in 5 days. He'll be in Vegas. I don't know if Vegas is ready for the Breadmen and Rainmaker Lou, but we're going to have some fun. Those boys are bringing it. I'm telling you right now. And they're coming to sign up for the contest, too.
Let's go.
Big Business, 361, Three Rivers, Texas. He's already signed up for the contest with the Brigade Proxy Service. We've made a friend. We've made a Texas Ranger fan who says that the Texas Rangers aren't even going to make the playoffs. How times change quickly. Mikey Awesome, 757 ODU. JC from KC, 216 Cleveland, Ohio, and a very nice 77 degrees in Cleveland today. Enjoy that. Johnson is 724, which is another area code in Pittsburgh. Ventura 226 and a 661. Santana staying cool down in the 928 Yuma, Arizona. CBW in the 315, and I believe that's upstate New York. Can't remember for sure, but I believe that's what it is. Pierre Chevalier, 613 Ottawa. There's our guy, Sebastian Anthony in the 4-digit area code 2153, Sydney, Australia.
Very cool.
Good evening to you, sir, on Saturday.
Is it good morning or good evening?
I think they're whole like 18 hours ahead, no?
All right.
I don't know.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Well, Sebastian will have to tell us what time it is there. Aiden Thomas, 806 Lubbock, Texas. Hankster V in the 519 Windsor, Canada. That boy D, 214, Andy Caston, is in 615 today. Andy's always jumping around. Andy's in a lot of different places. Brandon S, 702. You know where that's at, right here in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Roger Long, 765. Matthew Bonvie.
What's up?
519 Windsor, Ontario. He's working and listening. having fun. Is this Coos? There's 5 O's in that thing. A C and an S with 5 O's in the middle. All vowels, by the way. Y is still not a vowel. 404 in the ATL. Chef Benny, 973 Olive, New Jersey for a wedding.
Oh,
Who has a wedding on Labor Day weekend? That's a big ask right there. But that's good. Enjoy yourself, sir. Deuce Daily, 603, Windham, New Hampshire. You know where that's at?
Wyndham. Yeah, of course. Yep.
Okay.
Our boy, that's right up by where our guy Steve is
Oh, is it?
in Wyndham, New Hampshire. Yeah.
Okay. John Serrett with 2 T's. Actually, he got 2 R's and 2 T's. 603, or no, he's in 304. Pardon me. Oak Hill, West Virginia. Bonvy's actually in the 902 Halifax today.
Oh, nice.
My man's all over Canada. Man, oh man. Santiago Garza, 970 Grand Junction in the house. TP, are you with me? Question mark. Up in the 206 Seattle, the home of the Seattle Mariners, this may be their year. And if that happens, might come back up there. This is like the Seattle model of the BVB lid, which we're working on as well. Shady Iwa Beach Bum, 805 Arroyo Grande, California, the Central Coast. CBW is in the 315 Oswego, New York. Marcelo Unda. Unda? Did he change his name to the Unda because we say Unda or over the? That's pretty good. I don't know. He's in the 504. J. Betts, 410, St. Michael's, Maryland. There's Linus Crimmage, 705, Aurelia, Ontario.
Ooh.
Arctic is in the 402 Omaha.
What's up?
Side note, Nebraska is a volleyball school. We will beat Wisconsin in that sport.
Oh, yes, you will. Yeah,
absolutely.
Football. Yeah.
Ryan Garber, 574. Rue Sooner 1, 712. Where in the hell is 712? I never seen that.
I don't know.
JPC the 4th. All right, Labor Day is 420. Sharpie _RW 303.
Iowa. 712 is Iowa.
We're really expanding this thing in Iowa.
How about
This
that?
is
That's
great.
but he might be in Council Bluffs, so he might actually be in Omaha.
Really?
Well, because Council Bluffs is across the river. It's a different area code, different state, but it's part of the DMA for Omaha. So
sounds very confusing.
Yeah.
Akbar Saloev. I never say Akbar's last name, but I always go, Akbar, my guy, because that's what he does on the Twitter. He's always here in the 703 Nova, Northern Virginia, that is. Geo the Wops here. Hello
What's
to
up?
Geo and the boys. 949 Newport Beach, gearing up for a big weekend. Hopefully the boys don't have any basketball games and Geo can enjoy the college football games. Boy, oh boy. Well, there's a super chat there. Big Business just came in with one.
Yep.
We'll do the super chats at the BVB bonus time, correct? Are you keeping track of this?
I got them all.
All right. James H, 780. Wow, this is great. Woodruff, South Carolina, 864. That's where Andy O is. 516, Long Island, New York. We got Eric Prezano. We got Ian. This is great. I love the Erics, the E names. Chris Covey, 843 in Darlington, South Carolina. Right now, though, the Juice, big part of the show, big part of the chat. Thank you, sir. He's in the 480, Scottsdale, Arizona. It's a nice day in the desert, 88 degrees there. Let's see. Konowinski showing up in the 260, Fort Wayne, Indiana. A lot of people in Indiana watch the show, too.
Mm-hmm.
Really appreciate you guys. Tim Bradshaw, Peoria, Illinois in the house. Did not put the area code, so I can't say it. It is 5 a.m. in the morning in Melbourne, Australia. Dan Seabass, you get up early, too. Watch the show. We appreciate you, man. PB in 941, Venice, Florida. He's doing good. They got some heavy rain. All is good. Hurricane's fine. Him and Mrs. PB doing well. Haven't seen a picture of you on the Twitter lately, sir, with the BVB hat on. Please post one of those when you get a chance. Timmy Bradshaw's in the 309, Peoria, Illinois. Sports Avengers, 724, Sharon, Pennsylvania. Go Bucks. They're winning today. Don't worry about it. It's Keller Day today. That looks like it's it. Arctic and the 712, not claimed by Omaha. Not allowed that.
Oh.
712 is not allowed to be claimed by homeowners.
So he must be north or south. He must be up by Sioux City or down by Missouri. So okay, or Kansas. Yeah. Okay. I always forget where Iowa. Iowa's. What are they touching to the south?
This way.
It's Kansas. No, it's Kansas.
Kansas.
Because Iowa's the hat from Missouri, right?
Is that what they say? I've never heard that.
Right? Yeah. Iowa's the hat from Missouri, right? And then Kansas is right there because Nebraska's on top of Kansas, right? How the geography works. I think that's right. I think that's right. All right, time for 32 teams and 32 shows. It's time for the Chargers. This good dude, for
Love
whatever
this
reason,
guy.
I don't know. He looks like
Love
a
this
weird,
guy.
He looks like a weirdo. Circa Million, Circa Survivor going on this weekend. We're going to be busy. You guys get down to Circa to sign up. You must be in person to do this. 8 million plus for Survivor. 6 million plus for Circa Million. 5 picks per week. 1 pick per week for Survivor. You got to pick a different team every week, though, that wins and advances to survive and advance. This team, the LA Chargers, team of the day today. Chargers win total 9.5. It is juiced to the over at -125. Last year, they won 10 games. Justin Herbert and company goes 10-7. Reasons to be excited. There hasn't been a massive injury yet, Dave. This is amazing. They haven't lost one of their key players yet. This is crazy. This is amazing.
Just jinxing the whole thing right now. Right, but the season hasn't even started. You're already talking about the injuries. Watch what happens in game 1. There goes Herbert out 6 weeks. Done.
We haven't seen one yet, so the Chargers haven't been charging yet. Justin Herbert looks like he's ready to become a real MVP candidate. Reasons to be concerned. Well, the head coach is the head coach. Brandon Staley is just not a good head coach. Team can't stay healthy like we know, and the division's going to be a grind, one of the best divisions in all of football, like we know, with the Raiders, Chiefs, and Broncos in the AFC West. Okay, let's get to the schedule for the LA Chargers. Let's see if we can find 10 wins for the Chargers. I'm not sure we're going to be able to, but maybe. The folks at USA Today are picking the Chargers to go 7-10, by the way. So just
7-10.
7-10.
Can you bet with them?
No, not yet, at least. Book USA Today.
Probably only a matter of time before
bet USA Today.
Then we can say, hey, the paper line says this. We'll go bet with the paper. No, you can't.
Miami at home, the opener on the 10th of September.
Win.
I would agree. At Tennessee.
Early start. I think they go there and win.
I would agree. I'm down on the Titans. Vikings on the road.
Lose.
Agreed. Vegas at home.
Win.
So it's a 3-1 start when they get to the bye.
Boy, these teams with the bye week in the 5th week, that sucks for them.
It does, because guess what they have afterwards? Dallas at home and at Kansas City. Monday Night Football. Extra day on the bye. They have an extra bye.
They're winning that game against Dallas. They're losing at KC.
Agreed. Beat Chicago, right?
At home?
Yep.
5.
Yep. At New York Jets.
Ooh.
That's a Monday night game on the road in New York.
Lose.
I'll say so. Yeah. I'll give it to the Jets. Home for the Lions.
This is the Charger game. This is the one they mess up.
Really?
Detroit. Yeah, Detroit will go there and win. They're not supposed to. Yes, Detroit will win. So I stick with 5.
I have 6. At Green Bay.
They'll go there and win then after that. 6.
I have a loss. Home for Baltimore.
Oh, this might be the
Loss.
No.
I have a loss.
Oh, all right, loss. All right. So I'm stuck on 6.
I have 6. At New England. Loss.
They're going there and winning 7.
Loss. Home for Denver.
They'll split the Denver game. So they win this one. 8.
I won 7. At the Raiders.
Oh, they're
Loss.
coming here and winning. 9.
Loss. Home for Buffalo.
Nope.
Loss. At Denver.
Nope.
Win. I'll be beating Denver. You have 9. I have 8.
I have 9.
Home for Kansas City.
Oh. In a game that may mean something to them and not to Kansas City and all that other nonsense.
Yep.
It's 9 or 10.
Yep.
What's the total? What's the number? The actual
9.5 juice to the over.
to the over?
Yep.
Jeez. Again.
Would you so let's do this.
So if we're going to do this
contest,
What
At
do
the
we do?
Westgate, if you're going to do it, 9.5, what do you do? I say
First
bet
thought is
under because everyone's going to bet over.
There's going to be teams where me and you're going to have to go, all right, 1, 2, 3, over or under. We're seriously, when we do this, when we fill this thing out, we're going to have to do that on like 7 or 8 of the teams.
Because a lot of the teams are one way are coin
It's
flips, right?
literally a game.
Yeah,
like
it's
like
just a coin flip.
Well, listen, the chat is lively. It's just still a big crowd in here. Charger season wins 9.5 over to or under to. I think we'll get more. I think we'll get more over this.
I would agree with you. I think that's why I think.
Although if they like the show and they watch the show, they might say, "Well, maybe Dave and Matt are right," but then maybe we're wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Before we let go of our friends at Sports Grid here for the long weekend, but again, we're on Monday. I don't know if Sports Grid is going to replay us, but we will be live on Monday. If you're watching this on Friday or Saturday on Sports Grid, we will be live on Monday, Labor Day, around a 1:30 Eastern time start for the show on Monday. Brigade Proxy Pro Football Story of the Day. If you guys are coming to Vegas for Labor Day weekend, you want to be signed up for the contest and use the Brigade Proxy service, 702-570-8255. Please text us. We're going to be down there a lot Saturday, Sunday. I plan on just basically my whole weekend, I'm going to hang out at Circa and just be a part of it and see who we can sign up and who we can be a part of. So 702-570-8255. We told you about this a couple of weeks ago, but the NFL slot machines called the Super Bowl jackpot, they have currently been installed on the East Coast, and they are making their way this month, basically in the next 2 weeks, all over the country. The NFL slot machines will be at a casino near you.
The irony of the whole thing just has me, I just don't get it. But listen, I was walking around at the Venetian yesterday, and I saw the Yahoo Sportsbook powered by William Hill, and right next to the book, they had machines that were F1. They had Aristocrat Gaming. They were still covered in awnings, plastic, so you couldn't play them.
Okay.
You can't see what they are underneath it. It was a cloth covering, but they are labeled F1 official Aristocrat Gaming sponsored whatever slot machines. They're going to be races. I could see a big screen underneath it. So they're going to do something with the drive. And I already know.
Wow.
But, they're just making slot machines of everything, man. So why not NFL ones? The Super Bowl.
I really want to go play the Mario Kart one. I just want to see what it's like. Do I actually get drive? Do I drive a slot machine? Is it a video game? How is it a slot machine? I'm actually kind of curious. I mean, I'm surprised. Why don't we should have video games for money. Like you should have the ability to play a video game, and if you get a high score, you win a certain number of dollars.
This is called
skill-based
gaming, is it
skill?
not?
No, but I mean like an actual machine where I go up, I put $5 in. That's my bet. I name my score. I got to beat my score. If I don't beat my score, I lose. If I do, I double it. Here are the odds. I get to go ahead and pick whatever odds I want to go. Double it, triple it, quadruple it. Algorithm figures it out, and then I get to go play the game, and then it kicks out whatever I win or lose.
Were you a big arcade kid?
Hell yeah.
The arcade was the best place to go and hang out with your friends for the longest time. There's a place called Playland at Penn State.
Yeah.
You go with a roll of quarters and blow 3 hours and talk trash and back and forth.
Look,
the best.
The cheapest, most fun, family-friendly thing in Vegas is the Pinball Hall of Fame here in town.
The best. I love that place.
If you guys don't, when you come to town, if you're bringing kids, the Pinball Hall of Fame it's not marketed all that well, but it's unbelievable. You can literally walk in with $10 and you will spend 4 hours. They've got bubble hockey, the greatest arcade game of all time.
It's so much fun. Every time I go there, I leave going, I'm going to get a bubble hockey game for the house. And then I go, she's going to kill me. I can't do it. Like if I tell her I'm getting one. Because then the only people that'll play is like when you come over.
Right. But I'll play for hours though.
I know. We'll yell at each other, hit that boo button, all that other stuff.
It's unbelievable. USA versus Russia is still the best bubble hockey game that they ever created. It's phenomenal. So good. I played it for hours and hours, and you can go there to the Pinball Hall of Fame and play it for 50 cents. 50 cents. You can play it for like 20 minutes. It's unbelievable.
That's why the video game thing with casinos, like it won't be 50 cents. It'll be $5.
But I should be able to bet though. I should be able to make a play. Like I get to, if it's $5 minimum, fine, but I should be able to bet like $5, $10, $20. And then I can go ahead and see what my score is going to be. And I can 10X, 4X, whatever it is, the money. I'm okay with it being that if I have a chance to bet on myself.
Sounds like a bad idea.
Oh, I think it's a great idea. Sports Grid, thank you for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you. We have more to come with Better to Book It and bonus time story time with the Super Chat still coming up on YouTube. If you missed any part of it, at Boston versus the Book on YouTube to go and watch the full show. But for you guys who are live on YouTube, live on Twitter, you guys are now going to get what we call bonus time. All righty. Real quick on Florida. If you're in Florida, you're not getting betting for a long time. Just bye-bye. It's not happening. So court cases, court filings.
I read the first paragraph. I was like, "Yep, that's it. They shelved this
for a long time. It's going to be in the courts. If you live in Florida, sorry.
Do you think it's delayed? Like there's other interests in mind. They're like, filed extension. Like, don't we, not yet, because they're letting the rest of this shake out in other places. Like it's
no. I disagree
because
with that.
the business isn't what it's all cracked up.
Florida is a monopoly. No one wants this legal. If you're in the industry, Florida's got an unbelievable population base. Nobody wants it to be funded to one entity. This is one entity. The tribes are going to make all the money. And the way that DeSantis wrote it the first time, the tribes get a cut of every bet made everywhere in Florida, not just on the tribal lands, everywhere. So that's why this is, I don't think someone really has a moral obligation to this. Like they're actually going through this whole process of saying like, this is not right, blah, blah, blah. That I think is being funded by the other entities in sports betting. They're saying, yeah, there's no way in hell we're going to allow a top 5 population state to fund one company, to fund one business practice. No way. So that pact is being challenged for a variety of reasons. If you're a FanDuel, why the hell would you ever allow that to happen? Why would you ever be okay with losing billions?
No, they don't want it to be. I know, but I think there's something going on there that like it, just like California. California didn't want it to go legal, whether they're not ready or somebody said, confuse everybody and just get this extended out again because this business is all bullshit.
But they also tried to fund the wrong things with the California bills. Like they just, it got too many people got involved. It wasn't about betting anymore. It was about homelessness and drug abuse. And it just got
that's
nasty.
What I mean. It got called but I just feel like somebody knows like that the business is bullshit. Like, it's not a real big earning business. And until they get it right, like I'll just push it off because we've talked about it. Florida, Texas, and California.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever gets it to go in one of those 3 states, it's going to change the landscape of this whole thing.
Fair.
And if they're going to mess it up at the beginning, don't do it at all.
All right.
And that's why, because then it's all gloves are off once one of those states goes. Because then, I mean, if they would do this the way it's done, the street guys in Florida would thrive.
Amen.
They're the ones that wanted to go that one operator route.
Right.
Let them do it.
Yeah.
Sit back like this. I'll get you a number. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, try that.
We got you
And
covered.
Once they educate you and do all that, come on over here.
You realize what is really going on. It's a very fair point. Bunch of Better to Book It times to get into here. Hurricanes laying 16.5 to the Redhawks tonight. Betting it or booking it?
I think we got to bet this one.
Miami to run over the Redhawks. I would agree. I don't think Miami of Ohio scores more than 14 points tonight.
I don't know. Miami has been rough. They ain't been good in a while.
They've been horrible against the number too. That's
what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm not comfortable.
This number should be 24. I think the reason why it's so low is because I think we're getting a benefit of everybody being afraid to bet Miami on a big number. That's why I think this number is so low. Miami will. I mean, it's in Miami. It's a home opener. They're going to kill Miami of Ohio. Like their offense is. They have no offense. They have a good defense. They can't score. And Miami's got 3 NFL players on their defense. I think they're going to run them over. I don't think Miami. I think Miami scores 35 points. I think it's 35-10.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's that type of score. I think it's a 20-point win for Miami plus here today. Central Michigan plus 14.5 against Michigan State. Betting it or booking it.
I think we got to bet this one too.
14.5s are gone, unfortunately. They're 14s or 13.5 now, unfortunately.
I'm not comfortable laying 14.5 with Michigan State. That's just, I have no interest in that.
Yeah.
So it's dog or nothing.
Yeah, I would agree. Stanford -3 against Hawaii.
This one I'd say book. And again, you're going against the number move and all the other stuff, the content people, everybody. A lot of people were telling me about this number when it first came out in the summer and said it's absolutely wrong. They were absolutely right.
Yeah, 10.5.
Very good case.
You're sitting on 10.5. Well, absolutely. I would be in love. Or even 7.5, I would be in love.
That's what I'm saying. Over a touchdown's good.
But this number is the basement. We got all the way down and it hasn't moved in 2 days now.
Yeah.
It got to 3 and it stopped. And I went, okay, so people are betting 3.
Watch the late move on this one. You'll see a push one way or the other if they get off the 3. Once you get on the 3, it's pretty much, especially in the NFL, you just don't. It takes a mountain to move it. So if this moves one way or the other to 2.5 or 3.5, that'll be an indicator. But I'll say book it only because what Hawaii did the first game. That doesn't mean anything. It's just there's trends that the team that didn't play is actually better for them. So Stanford would be the side.
Yep, I would agree with that. UMass plus 36.5 against Auburn on Saturday.
This is a dream for you.
Back-to-back UMass wins. If I go 2-0 betting UMass to open football, it'd be phenomenal. It'd be so fun.
They ain't scoring 10 points. And if they score 10, that still might not be enough. I think Auburn hangs a 50 burger on them. No?
Disagree. Don't think so. No, I think UMass. Right. Don Brown's not.
Good luck. Enjoy the game. I will not be watching 1 second of this unless you text me or I'm sitting next to you at the Circa.
Yeah.
This will actually.
If UMass is in the game, I'm going to be the loudest prick in the book.
You're going to be really.
I'm
bringing earplugs.
I need to go buy a UMass. I think I'm going to go buy a UMass hat today.
Good luck finding one of those.
I don't know. I might be able to find one, or at least overnight on Amazon. I might be able to find one fast. That's crazy.
The only way you're getting it because there's not a store.
You don't think so?
This city.
You don't think so? Not any of the stores.
I'm around a lot of these stores. I've never seen a UMass anything. Yes.
We'll see.
You finding a UMass hat in this town would be more surprising to me than them covering them all.
Over 64.5 North versus South Carolina.
Are we too late to the party with this number?
No, because it may be 85 when it's all said and done. So it may not matter. Whatever number you hang, it may not matter.
65 we got to get to.
Mm-hmm.
This is scary, man.
35-30? That's scary?
Yeah. That's 2 perfect trips, essentially, for both teams.
We've seen games in the 40s with both teams before. That's not impossible. Tennessee played games like that,
especially with North Carolina. Yeah, I'm overthinking it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's 67 might be the stop point, but
64.5. You find 64s, it's even better. Take 64s.
Right.
Okay. Time for bonus time, story time from you guys. Let's start. I'll read them anyway.
Yep.
Addison, who got his hat today, said 812 en route to the 206, driving with the wife, sporting my new hat. Keeping up with Konowinski while I'm here. Happy Roll Call Friday, everybody. Have a great weekend.
He's meeting up with Konowinski?
I guess so, yeah.
The boys, this is one of the coolest things. Like Chef Benny met with Lou and the Raymaker crew the bread in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Addison's going to see. He's going to see. I love it. Like guys are meeting and we're building this thing. I can't wait to take the show on the road. Go ahead.
Saw one on the strip. Saw at the lids on the strip because I thought of UMass. Maybe there is one. To call around. He's got some UMass gear. It'll be phenomenal. Austin Mack, Roll Call Friday. I understand how a round robin works, but in what situations would you consider using a round robin bet?
Oh, this is so funny. Every year this college football season starts, I had a guy named, we'll call him the Dr. Greg, who I worked with many years in the book here. And he does the 3-team round robin, 4-team round robin by 3s and 4s every college football weekend. One of these days, he's going to win a house, literally cash. Dog money lines by threes, and then the 4. So you pick 4 teams where you think the dog can win outright.
Okay.
Put them together. You round robin them by the 3s and the 4s. So if you go 3 and 1, you cash good.
Right.
If you go 2 and 2 or worse, you don't cash anything.
Yeah.
That one time you go 4 and 0, literally my guy's going to buy a house. Definitely a really expensive, like really nice car.
Dart throw.
Or a house. It's not really a dart throw because I'll tell you what he sent it to me. This is so much the fun of all this is just great when the season starts. All it says is the first roundie of the year. And there's a plus 425.
Wow. But
the rest are all, plus 105, plus 115, and plus 205.
What's the 4-0 return?
He just wrote me the teams.
Okay.
I don't even know. He wrote the game numbers. I don't even know what the teams are. We're still using game numbers. Old people.
Old school.
Yeah. So I got the 4 game numbers and the money line prices. So, South Alabama's in there. Florida State's in there.
Oh.
Who is that? Houston 2-1. What?
Okay. They're dogs.
Yeah. I
Really?
guess.
Houston's dogs.
And then, God, he loves this Wyoming. Wyoming's the big one. That can't be right. Why does he do this?
But he's got a round robin on, so he can be wrong on that.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that's if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, it's not that big of a deal.
And then the strategy move there is he has it keyed to a standalone game. So if it gets to that standalone game,
he can go the other side
and guarantee cash.
Guarantee to win.
Yes.
So Houston is an even money play at the moment. Wyoming is plus 450.
That's the big one. Yeah.
What were the other ones? South Alabama.
Yeah, 219. Game number 219. South Alabama against Tulane. Yeah.
Wow, Tulane's everyone's darling.
Yeah, there's a lot of I saw SVP and Stanford Steve last night on winners give out South Alabama and said to throw in the money line. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'll have to poke around and find.
Yeah.
That's SMU, not South Alabama. I don't know, I'll find it later, but okay, that's interesting. That's cool. Next question comes from Big Business. With everyone and their mama taking Dion at plus 20.5 by principle, don't you have to take the Frogs at home?
Oh, we talked about this a lot. We talked about it last night. We'll probably talk about it tonight on the Sports Grid when we do it. TCU would be the only side I would play. I would not take the points. It's an easy pass because I got to see so many question marks, both teams, right? Dion's going to find a way to do what he needs to do to win. You told me last night he's got a 3-year window. I would think it would be a little bit longer than that, but if that's his plan, okay. TCU's got a lot of turnover too.
They do.
I'm not comfortable, excited about laying it, but I don't want nothing to do with Colorado until I see it. I got to see it.
Hold on. It was Houston, Wyoming, South Alabama, and who?
Florida State.
Florida State.
Florida State. Yeah.
Huh. It's basically a plus 7,000 for 4-0 mark.
Yeah, 70-1.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty good. $100 gets you $7,000. Not bad.
Yeah.
So
if you go, so it's 25 away because 3s and 4s are 6. Is there 6 combos?
You can, that's just a 4-0 month.
Oh, that's a 4-0. Yeah.
But
if you do
a
the
4-0
3s
run.
and the 4s,
yeah, 3s and 4s are way more expensive.
I think it's 6 bets. So you'd have to do.
Yeah.
Well, those are the ones.
$20 a pop, 6 bets. Yeah, because you win, right? Because if you go a 4-0, you win them all. You win every bet. You win them all. Right. You bring it.
Well, if you go 3 and 1 with the plus monies, you hit the right plus monies.
It can help out.
Well, yeah. If you do it $20 away, it's probably every combo is at least 15-1. So
not bad. Yeah, well, that's not bad at all. And then finally, what are your thoughts on the Man City game from Francisco Ochoa? Oh, wait, wrong football. Just want to show the support from the 760 and Incognito. There, appreciate that. And Sonic said he threw a map of the Roll Call Friday states called out in the Discord channel at bbbshow.com. So thank you for doing that. I'll check that out once the show is over.
that's perfect. Yeah.
Favorite thing about today is what? Thank you, everybody, for those super chat questions. That's awesome. We'll do that every single day. If you guys want it, or as we go through football, that's how you get us to talk about a game that we may not hit on. If you have a question on it, that's how you get it. Throw it out there, both pro and college. Every day, you guys can pose those questions.
And you can pose other questions too. I mean, we had a couple guys coming in just with funny comments and throwing that in there. It's an easy way to see it. I missed it again today because I was focused on the roll call stuff, but thank you guys. Favorite thing about today, I woke up literally like my hair was on fire, but I ain't got no hair. And just started going. It was raining. It was cloudy. It was dark. It was perfect. I got up before the kids, made 3 phone calls back east at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then I got on the radio with Brommelkamp and did his show back in Iowa.
Is this week awesome. 1 for him, or is this week 2 for him? It is week 1. Awesome.
Yeah. So we did it Friday. That was fun. And then got on the road, went down to South Point, watched Gil do his last show out of that studio there for VEASAN, and got to see some people in the book. And I'm standing there while they're doing the show, and some people were talking or whatever. And I look and I see this guy dressed in a writer outfit walking with a cane, walking away from me. So I see him from behind, but I see his hair and I see him. I'm like, I think that's Tom. So I run over, I catch him easily because I still got foot speed, and he's walking slow. And I turn around, I get in front of him, and he's looking down, paying attention to where he's putting that cane, walking slow. And I said, hey. He looks up like this, and it got the hugest smile on his face. This guy, Tom, his last name begins with a W, tremendous guy. Used to come in on his off days into the book at the M, play races. We shared writer stories for years. Originally from Pittsburgh, married his second time. He's got 2 kids. Older guy, had his kids later in life. We had one of the best visits that I've had. He almost died 3 years ago.
Whoa.
He's working. He's grinding. He's still showing up.
Good.
And I was so happy to see him. And I told him, I sent him the link, and I took a picture with him. And I posted it on Sports Beat Cake and Sig today with the views of the South Point. It's me and Tom right there. And he said to me, you're on TV every day? I said, yeah, we're doing a show. You'd like it. Here's the link. He said, I always knew you were going to make it. I didn't know what the hell you were doing behind that counter for all those years. And I said, I love you. I love you too. His hair looks great. His health is good.
Good.
And I thought of so many of the guys that watched the show and going through it. Merges his wife, surgery today. He got the text. Everything went very well.
Good.
Positive.
Good.
Got a couple other guys, personal text, fighting some demons, fighting some things at home, fighting themselves. And I keep telling them, like I tell you and tell everybody, keep showing up. Life is always forward, never straight. You got a place to come here every day between 10:30-ish Pacific and 12:30-ish, PM Pacific. That's 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central. We appreciate the hell out of you. Fucking A, Roll Call Friday is the best.
It really is. 1, obviously, it's Roll Call Friday. So 2, that's great. 2, I don't know how much time, Mikey Awesome and Sonic, how much time you guys are spending doing this stuff, but I just need to call you both out because it is very much appreciated what you guys are doing and the ownership that you guys have taken onto the show because it gets noticed by so many people. Stephanie Small sent me a DM yesterday and said, I have to tell you, do you know how many people continue to reach out to me from being on your show? She said, I've never had this happen before. Of all the media appearances I've done, I've never had this many people reach up to me and say, when's the next time you're going to be back on BVB? So you guys are doing incredible work, and people are literally going, what the fuck is going on? They can't figure this out. They don't understand. They're confused by it. Some are intimidated by it. Some people don't like it that it's going on. It's great. And so I know we tend to say thank you a lot in this segment, but I just think it's important just to call out a couple of you guys, because these are the things that make people understand what the show is, when you guys are willing to spend your own private personal time to just do something fun. And that thing with the letter Y today was like a Sesame Street thing that I was like, Will, grab Sesame Street, make the letter Y, and go like that literally is a short built in itself. I was like, that's great. Madeline started arguing with me. She was listening to it and she was like, wait, what going on? I sent the other clip to my sister who played it for her boyfriend, who he was on the ground laughing and he thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And he was like, did Dave really just say that? She was like, yeah, my mom saw it. She was laughing. So it's what's going on right now is very, very special. It's a family affair and it's very, very cool. And you guys are our family. So thank you for everything you guys have done. Thank you for being here on Roll Call Friday. It's always super fun. Tell somebody, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Monday, we are back. Labor Day, but we are on live. Same time, same show for Monday to recap the entire first college football weekend heading towards Thursday. So even though it's a holiday, we will do the show live, FYI. If you're at Circa, 702-570-8255.
We'll be there.
Text us. We'll be there. We'll get you signed up for the...
Oh, he froze right now.
We good? We good?
Oh, not yet. I'm back. Oh, you're back. Whew.
Okay. 702-570-8255. Text us. We'll get you signed up for the Million and the Survivor. He is Dave. I am Matt. We'll talk to you on Monday, Labor Day.